Welcome back to Sonic Mania Part 2.
No!
We're now joined by Miwa because she loves lights, camera, and action.
In that order.
Yeah, is it that order? I need to know. Because maybe you
Why
love
do you need
camera
to
the
know?
most. Well, yeah, we're all here. We're all friends. I'm just asking questions. Fine, I'll hide in the corner. Never mind.
Miwa, have you played Sonic Mania?
Glad you're here. Studiopolis?
Studiopolis.
Which one? Okay, so Studiopolis, I love it and I hate it.
Why'd you hate it?
Cause I hate the level design, and I also I like the aesthetic design of it. I think aesthetically it's fucking amazing.
Movies!
But I hate the level design. I absolutely hate how everything is laid out. And I also hate the color theory of it. In fact, this was something that I want to talk about in the last part, but I didn't get a chance to. In Green Hill Zone, anytime you want to run on like a surface, you know where to run because grass is green. You can run on the green parts. Obviously, you can't run on the orange parts. Those are walls. You can run on a bridge. You know, very obvious places where you can run. This fucking level, there are so many different colored surfaces that it's sometimes impossible to tell what parts you can actually run on, and it's frustrating.
This fucking
And I hate
level!
it.
This fucking level with its
This fucking
fucking
level
color
right here.
scheme!
This fucking color scheme, and also one thing that bothered me in the new gimmicks that they added to Chemical Plant. You know how purple water, bad, you're gonna suffocate in it. The blue water, bad, it's gonna hurt you. So you associate purple and blue with bad things in that level in particular. But when you go into like that little DNA strand thing that like takes you upward, you know what I'm talking about? Like the spiral, where it's like orange and red and it takes you upward. Yeah, I was just waiting for a yes or no.
Why, yes.
Well, so anyways, the middle part that you're in is purple, and it's like the first time you get into that little thing that takes you upward, you immediately jump out of it because you're like, oh god, it's bad. That's bad color theory. They didn't think about that, and I think that's bad. Also, the pads in Chemical Plant that are sticky, you can stick to them, they go up and down, they're also purple. I think that's bad color theory. I think they should have made those two things different colors.
I would also say, Steven, in terms of that, in terms of the kind of bouncy jelly, there are two different shades of blue. One blue hurts you, one does not. I think the
Yep.
one that hurts you, again, maybe should have been a separate color. Maybe.
Yep. So that's color theory for you guys. In association.
That's a color theory.
See, that's an actual good game theory. Get your shit together, game theory, you pieces of shit.
I will say though, I think Studiopolis was one of the first original level revealed in the first trailer, and people who went to that party as Skylar, I believe David did, and Mikono's fan, they got the little little flash drive, which came with a few music tracks. Studiopolis Act 1, I believe it's just called Lights, Camera, Action on the vinyl release.
Man.
One of my favorite fucking tracks ever. It's so
Yeah,
sick.
actually, on the little flash drive, it's an earlier version of Studiopolis, because in the game it sounds different.
It's the betas. The betas! The betas!
I believe the final version was the one that was mixed by Folk. Is that how you pronounce that guy's name?
Fault?
Yeah, Folk. He's...
Yeah, because from what I understand, again, this may be wrong, but just was he brought on later? Or had he always been there from the beginning? Because I remember it was just like a few months before the game was released. I think T-Loach was like, oh yeah, we brought in, fan super, because Folk, isn't he the guy who did the Sonic before and after the sequels? Is that him?
Mixing,
Yeah.
yes, in some of the tracks.
Oh, that
yes,
guy.
the guy who mixed the soundtrack. He did the music to before and after the sequel, and he's also done work at Square Enix. Final Fantasy 15 has some things that he's done where either he wrote the music or he mixed it. Like he does a lot of things musically, and
Speaking of musically, High Spec Robo Go, T-Lopes, you magnificent bastard. I will say this version I am playing currently is the original console release. This is the pre-patched version. The patch came out a week ago roughly at the time of this recording. I have not gone back to play the game post-patch. I hate the fucking fact in this, whenever you try and jump over the missiles, it feels like there's like wind resistance pushing you back. Annoying as fuck in this boss fight.
Yep.
Which I believe when it was released on PC and the post-patch should have fixed that. But
I was going to ask
if
you had gotten the patch in this recording or not. So thank you for answering my question before I asked it.
No, because I wanted to. There's something I show off later, which was patched that I need to show off in game. So that's why I made sure to keep this pre-patch. But you know, the while he's on the screen, what does everyone think of the hardboard heavies? I think they were a great idea. They have some really interesting boss fights, but on the whole, they feel slightly underused because there's no real resolution to them as characters in the game.
Oh, they're not really characters at all. They're just sort of colorful obstacles, and that's it.
Well, it's a 16-bit platform, which is really all they were to begin with, you know.
It doesn't matter. You can still have character arcs. Knuckles had a character arc. At first, he's your enemy, then he's your friend. You see, it's very easy to do. These guys, they're just introduced and then they die.
To be fair, Steven, that took place over 2 games. So if we get a Mania 2, maybe we'll...
2 games that were supposed to be 1 originally.
But they were released so I paid double for that, Steven. It counts as 2 games.
Your parents paid double.
No, fuck
Not you.
Sonic and Knuckles was the first game I ever paid with my own money, so fuck you.
Well, you only paid for half of it, so
Wait, hold on.
up.
Still 1 game more than you paid
This is
for.
the best part.
I heard a full complaint when I only should have heard a half a complaint, right?
Animation was so good.
I wish for the heavies that, because in the manual states that their whole thing is that they're supposed to be going against Eggman, and I wish the game actually showed that they're doing their own thing instead of just
Which
following
manual?
him, how it appears.
Yeah, what do you... I don't remember that.
Are you talking about the online one or the introduction one?
I have no idea which manual it is. I just remember reading that in one of the manual it states that the hardware heavies are supposed to be going against Eggman.
Well, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, I think at one point, Christian Whitehead had stated that the original idea for the story was, hey, what if Eggman got so depressed after the events of certain games that he's such a sad robot. Right?
I would say upset, not depressed.
Right. He got right. So Eggman was sad, and then the hardboiled heavies went off to do their own thing, and I'm not sure because that certainly doesn't seem to be the case because in this game Eggman is there from the beginning. He's like, oh hey, yeah, you did this thing for me. That's great. If he was really depressed and hiding in his super cool pajamas, I don't think he would have been on Angel Island or Green Hill Zone or
well, no,
whatever.
I think at the was it the E3 panel where that was brought up
San Diego Comic-Con
as an old idea, and then I think the Sonic Stadium ran it as this is the backstory, and then Aaron Weber was like, no, this is a unused mechanic. Please update your story, you hacks.
In those words, exactly.
In those exact words, he was like, fuck you, Sonic Stadium.
So, how many LPs
No!
do you...
He did it wrong!
That's so painful to watch.
Every time I accidentally go into a blue sphere, because fuck blue sphere in this game, but I'm sure we'll get onto that at a different point.
Didn't you say that in the last part?
It's just so shocking every time.
Oh man, how could you not love this? So do you not like Act 2 either, then, Steven? Stefan?
No, I
Stefan?
don't. It's still no, because hey, I don't like it when a level uses every single color for surfaces that I'm supposed to walk on because it gets confusing. I need some rules and consistency, especially between acts. They change what colors mean what. In fact, see those balls you're bouncing on? Those balls things are attached to springs, and the springs are attached to platforms. I can't jump on those platforms, but I can jump on the things that are attached to the platforms. It's inconsistent, and I don't like it, and it's confusing.
I don't like it.
I don't like it when there's a thing in the foreground. I should be able to interact with it, and when I can't, it's frustrating.
But the Egg TV animation.
I think he's got you there.
We'll say in terms of those kind of red bounty balls, is there anyone else you just like first time playing this feel like they should bounce you higher?
Yes.
Every time I play this, I'm like I'm surprised how pathetic the distance they will bounce you is.
I didn't think so. They felt natural to me.
Was that Sky?
Oh, I was just saying the bounce feels natural to me. The bounce height.
Yeah, but Sega paid you for this, so shut up.
Those balls are based on an unused item in Chaotix, if I remember correctly. So
Everything in this game is an unused item from another game.
Ooh, do you guys remember Crystal Egg Zone from one of the
Yep,
Game Gear
Sonic 2,
games?
Yeah,
baby.
Sonic 2.
Yeah. Do you remember how it was impossible to tell which blocks you could actually interact with? Like how sometimes you would go through them, sometimes you crash through them, sometimes you couldn't even they were just impossible objects. That's how I felt with Studiopolis.
We should quickly say, of course, the Egg TV 072216 date of the aforementioned Sonic 25th anniversary panel, and if you wait here for a long time, you get to hear that amazing buzzing sound that plagued the live
which
stream.
gives Skylar PTSD, I'm sure, right?
No comment.
I will say right off the bat, the bosses in Sonic Mania, I think, range from really good to pathetic. I think a lot of the bosses are just it's weird because a lot of the bosses are more fun to play with as Knuckles, because Knuckles has a shorter jump. You can't just destroy them in 6 seconds like you can with Sonic and Tails. Which I almost wish that for some of the bosses they just put like Eggman like slightly higher in the screen so Sonic just can't twat him 7 times in a row and kill him in like 2 seconds.
I think a big proponent of you being able to defeat them so easily is that you get invincibility when you get hurt, and then you can just whack him another 3 times. So I think that's what do you guys feel about invincibility in boss fights? Because when you're invincible, you can just wail on bosses.
Well, I know some of the bosses were designed with that in mind, to the point where you can't just wail on them. Like Press Gardens mini boss, for example, you gotta wait for that one. So it's a bit of a mix.
I know that Lewis from Brain Scratch actively hates using those frames in boss fights.
Oh, really?
So everyone go to the Brain Scratch channel and say fuck you, Tim.
Or you can just look at their Mania LP.
Yeah, we just said fuck you, Tim.
Stop watching this one. Go to a better one.
Well, now it's gonna be fuck you Smoothies.
It's gonna be
so-
fucking Smoothies because Steven is saying this. So, okay, so Steven, if you had to give this, even though you didn't finish it, which I think is a big indication. So
Yeah.
of what you played, if you had to give it some kind of pointless YouTube score out of 10, what would you give the zones you played?
Can I answer that at the end of this part?
Oh sure.
Yeah, I want some time to think about that.
Stop getting hit.
You know why? Because I hate the fact that you get one thing I will say about the Elemental Shield, because I'm glad they're back, is that they gave an extra power in a sense to all of them. The lightning shields get you magnetized, the fire shields can burn bridges, and the water shield can protect you from certain bits of the Mega Mac in Chemical Plant Zone.
I thought the magnet shield always magnetized you in Sonic 3 and K. Did it not? Am I
It did
remembering
not.
that wrong?
I don't remember it. No, I don't remember it.
It didn't.
There.
I guess I'm remembering that wrong. Huh. That's weird. Why is my memory wrong?
Because you like Mania. Admit it. Get over it.
Incorrect. You and your fake news, your alternative facts, David T. Lurker.
I think we just found the new story arc for this LP.
David is fake news.
Wait.
So, David,
Yes.
please read us from the Japanese manual of Mania, where it talks about Knuckles trying to find Judy's.
Oh, right. It's
what?
right here.
Wait, no, that's not what I meant.
Knuckles the Echidna, known to his friends as Knuckle, no S, is definitely not upset at the fact that Angel Island is in the water. That is because he recently discovered Judaism. However, before his bar mitzvah, the hard-boiled heavies show up and ruin it. Oy vey, shouts Knuckles the Echidna. It's time that I hold. I'm running out of Jewish.
God,
I better
that's fucking beautiful.
I better pack up some lot. Wait, I forget it. Yeah.
We actually have someone here who can read Japanese. We stop relying on Google Translate and get a real Japanese person to read the Japanese manual.
This was a terrible mistake.
Sky, that's actually one thing, Sky. Maybe you or David might know. Why one thing? Why is Angel Island in the ocean for?
Yep. Yeah. Why?
My assumption is because of the Phantom Ruby.
Yeah, because
But was because
Why?
in context of the game, we just assumed the Phantom Ruby had always been there. So how come it didn't?
Yeah.
How come it didn't at the end of 3 and K? It didn't still just go back into the ground. That's what
Well,
I'm saying.
maybe
But
it wasn't
because
there
they
in
tried
3
to
and
tie.
K.
right, because
Well, then how did it
Why?
get there?
Who buried it then?
I don't know. It's the Phantom Ruby. It's uncontrollable.
yeah. I mean, have you ever
You can't
gone
see
on
it, but I'm
Twitter?
doing the little squiggly thing with my arms to show you how crazy and wild it is.
You go on Twitter. You look at the Sonic account. Nobody can control that Phantom Ruby. You know this.
Nobody can control those terrible memes either.
Yeah, but no. In the digital manual, it says that the reason that Sonic and Tails go to Angel Island is because Tails picks up some weird energy signal and is like, oh, it's coming from where Angel Island was. That energy signal must be different because when, over the course of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, they pick up the signal, they go there because of the Chaos Emeralds, because of the Master Emerald, what have you. So if Tails is picking up something new, that means that...
Sonic already had the Chaos Emeralds, so no.
But then he lost them again.
Well, that goes into the whole theory that there are multiple sets of Chaos Emeralds, but we can save that for another day.
Yeah.
But Izuka said that wrong. But also the fact that isn't it just convenient? The Phantom Ruby just happens to be in the exact same hole that Knuckles jumps out of. Isn't that just fucking?
That's so
convenient?
the artist didn't have to draw more of Angel Island. I don't.
Which I get. No. Okay. So serious question. Do you think the whole it being on Angel Island was just fan service / did they just reuse assets to save time, to save them having to actually make like a different opening cutscene?
It's because they didn't put any thought to it. That's the actual answer. Was there was no thought.
Hey,
put into
David, you remember this special stage, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, Special Stage 5, I think universally hated. It is without question the hardest special
Right.
stage.
I
in the
listened to your podcast. I heard Chris talk about me on the floor.
I was gonna say, I remember Chris talking about this. I was listening in
Yeah, don't
on that
pretend I didn't
conversation
hear.
when it happened. I heard David's cries of pain, and then his Switch battery died.
Yeah.
David, unrelated, but I want to be your roommate. 'Cause I want every day to be like that.
game. Where it's just David on the floor crying because he can't do Special Stage 5.
You want to just come home, you're like, oh, hi, David. And I'm like, flailed on the ground, surrounded
Yes.
by various...
Archie comics.
I say, it's totally worth having him pay half the rent.
Oh, man, good times. Yeah.
You Miles Tails per hour, also known as Miles Tails per hour.
Why, you're welcome.
It's me, David T. Lurker.
Why, it's me, David Tails Prower, also known as David Tails.
David Titan Tails.
Oh, that's my favorite arc.
I will say, visually, this is my favorite looking special stage.
Oh, mine's 7. I think 7 looks, because it's all in black. I
Yeah,
don't
7
know.
looks
7
hella retro wave. I dig
Now,
it.
Skylar, I heard a rumor. I don't know if you can confirm and or deny it, but you actually designed all the...
Can you confirm and deny it?
Can you confirm and or deny that you were responsible for all the backgrounds by giving the Mania team scans of your Vaporwave collection?
I can both confirm and deny that rumor. Yes.
Well, heck, there you go.
It is true and not true at the same time.
He confirms that he created the rumor.
So many confirmations.
You know, I can't remember what we were talking about before the special stage.
Oh, we were talking about how Russia had Skylar make that rumor on Facebook.
Right, yeah, what were we talking about? Quick, play the tape. Oh, wait.
Oh yeah, but we were talking about how fucking lazy and cheap it was to reuse. Angel
Oh,
Island's
right.
outfit.
Well, I was gonna say, like, I guess because part of the reason is that if you're making a sequel to Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which this is, for all intents and purposes, a sequel to Sonic 3 and Knuckles, you need, if you're gonna have Knuckles play a part in it, you need to give a reason as for why he is there.
Sure. But can't we visit the island while it's in the sky instead of?
I mean,
in
it
the
is
ocean?
weird that it's in the ocean,
I mean,
but
David, I get that. I get that. My thing is just the fact that the intro for Sonic and Tails and the intro for Knuckles are beat for beat the exact fucking intros from Sonic 3 and Case. It's Knuckles sitting down under the tree with his fucking animals, and then like the Highball's heavy throw a bomb down, he gets all pissed off. It's like there's. I mean, I have no problem with the game starting with them going to Angel Island. I just think the fact that there's literally nothing new in terms of either how they get there or what happens. Where I'm just like, I would have preferred maybe they fly into Angel Island and we see him on fucking Marble Garden Zone. Like, why does it have to be the exact same intro to Sonic 3?
I was going to say, what's weird about this game is that for a game that cares so much about like referencing the little minute details of any like classic Sonic game, it doesn't give a shit about lore, about classic Sonic lore.
Yeah. Yep.
Kind of, yeah.
Like, oh, why is Little Planet there?
I wouldn't say it.
Oh no.
Because it is.
Well,
Because Sonic 4 Episode 2 needed to be answered. Thanks, Sky, you dick. Leaving that fucking game unanswered.
I mean,
for.
you could say that maybe it shows up because of the Phantom Ruby, even though it's not explicitly clear that that's the reason. But
Well, maybe if they could at least imply that.
Doesn't it move when it's in the air?
it does move. That's right, because later on, spoilers, when you go to Lava Reef Zone, you can see the little planet in the background, which means that Angel Island must have moved from being in the ocean at the beginning of the game to being where Never Lake is, which means it must have risen back out of the ocean and moved to that location.
But we don't see that.
But I mean, there is the hint of, well, you're in Lava Reef Zone. You can see Little Planet.
David, you're only able to make that connection because you know all of that. The average person doesn't know that
Well,
stuff.
I get, but if you've played Sonic CD and you know what Little Planet looks like, when you're in Lava Reef Zone, you can tell that's Little Planet.
No, I'm talking about Lake whatever you mentioned.
Oh, Never Lake. Yeah, because that's where.
What the fuck is Never Lake?
Never Lake is in the intro to Sonic CD. That's essentially what
That
Sonic
lake
wants
has a
to.
name?
Yeah.
Yeah, Never Lake.
Just like
Oh
the
my
island in
God,
Sonic
come
4.
on.
You didn't know that? Jesus, Steven, you fucking dweeb.
Why the fuck? It doesn't need a name. We don't even play the game at Never Lake. Why does it need a
It's a
name?
name.
Right, and then to be even to bother you even more, Never Lake is on the island that Sonic 4 takes place in.
Hooray? Question mark. And I will say all this shit about like the fucking story, very very minor nitpick. But again, as Stefan said, it's weird how people like the guys who took such meticulous care with how things looked and how things played. Again, with like the kind of backstory and kind of the transition, but just like, who gives a shit?
About the story, yeah.
Yeah, this boss, one of my favorite bosses in the game. This is so imaginative. And again, I said it on the Brain Scratch LP. I'm ashamed of my first time playing this. It took me over a minute to realize what I had to do to
Also,
hit it.
hi omelet.
No, okay.
Thank you, Stefan.
Eggman's niece.
It's Eggman's niece, Omelet / Eggette.
Oh my god, that fucking shit.
Steven loves this game on this fan base, you can tell.
Fucking, I can't wait for the day I never play a Sonic game ever again. And that's gonna start with Forces. Sonic Forces will be the first game I will not purchase. Not gonna do it. Oh wait, no, I didn't purchase Mania. Ha!
You should buy like 4 copies of Mania.
I got it for free. Alright, do we want to talk about how I got Mania for free, Gareth, or no?
Okay, sure, why not?
It's up to you.
It's essentially Sega gave us a free copy of Mania, and I gave it to Steven.
Because I was broke.
Because he was broke, and so I said, "Yeah, you play it." And then Steven was like, "I didn't even finish the game. Fuck this game." So I'm like, maybe next time we don't give the free copy to Steven. Maybe we give it to someone who actually played the game.
I don't like it. I don't like the game.
You don't like the game, but yeah. So at some point, I need to make a video about Mania. Just so it's worthwhile that Sega sent us that free copy, even though I'm sure they expected it like a day after the game came out. No. A month and a half later.
Does this not count?
This is my official review.
Okay, so Steven, your official review, as you said at the end of this part, what would you rate this out? What would you rate this game out of 10?
God damn it! I didn't think. I said I was gonna think, and I didn't. Fuck.
Just say 10 out of 10 so we can get more paid videos from Sega.
We'll go. No, how far is Hydro City? How far is Hydro City into the game?
It's one of the later levels.
So this is like level 8, 7, 6, 5.
I think it's in part 4.
It's
maybe?
after Stardust Speedway. I'm trying to remember though.
It goes Stardust Speedway, Hydro City, I think Lava Reef, Metallic Madness, Titanic Monarch. I'm just spoiling all the levels of the game.
I already know. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10 because, great presentation, great music, great, fan service, but it's fucking boring to play. Okay, I'm done. The end.
That's a hot take. Join us on part 3 where Steven talks about why he loves the game. Okay, bye.
No, yeah, that's actually a good idea because there are things I like. Okay, bye.
Happy birthday, Joey.